Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of
The Skooled Zone.
All right. Nice view here. It's actually pretty crappy view, but I like the graphics. Okay, so we are getting ready to head on up here and get our gear and then take on Dowd. So in the last episode, we basically made our way through part of the flooded district, encountered a whole bunch of weepers and river crusts, and then got our last rune. So we now have, well, not our last rune, but we got a rune that allowed us to get time stop. Very happy about that. It's going to be fun to play with. So let's just run over here real quick. I don't know why I did that. I was moving slow because it's, I guess you're moving through some muck. Okay, some weepers down there. And we never got to loot these guys, so let's go ahead and do that. And the reason I am crouching right now is because there are some weepers right there. So we are going to try to sneak up to them. And how are we going to handle this? Why don't we go up and around instead, actually? Ooh, there they are. Yep, they're already angry at us. Okay, so do we grenade them? I guess we're gonna grenade them. Ooh, maybe we can bullet that guy. Man, that acid does so much. Okay, let's time stop this mug. Get them to open up their shells. Okay, now we can just bullet a few. 1, 2, 3. Jeez. Okay, I think we're gonna have to grenade the ones down there. So let's try this little method here. Okay, that worked. Okay, so there's one little straggler there. I don't think we need to grenade him, or her, or it. Come on, let me up onto this thing. There we go. Oh, now it's not going to open up its shell. We'll see about that. Thought I got that one. Oh, there's another one. All right, so they're going to wait until we least expect it and then start hurling their little spits at us. Oh, there we go. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know really why I'm wasting my time with these guys, to be honest. Because we got all the money we need right now. But let's head on over here. Start working our way around. Oh, now he's going to open up his... Well, since you decided to join the party... Oh, and he's not even going to give us a pearl. Sucker. Alright, so let's read this note here. Letter to Stu. Hey Stu, here's the deal. The old Greaves Refinery still has vats filled with processed whale oil that no one's touched. We just need to collect a bunch of empty tanks and use the pumps they have at the front station to fill them back up. With the water level so high, we'd be able to just pull a boat in and out, no problem. Just don't go alone. There are river crusts everywhere. Those critters are rough. Mitch. Alright, he wasn't lying. But yeah, he basically gave us a clue as to solve this little puzzle that's coming up. Alright, so let's see here. Western Ocean. Okay, there's a map we can grab. There's another note. Refinery safety notice. Remember to keep the stair in the up position at all times unless there's a shift change or an emergency. Failure to do so may result in damage to equipment and or loss of life. In the event of an actual emergency, main power will be shut off. Use the backup receptacle to your right to restore the power to this control panel. Okay, so basically what he's saying is that we can't get up to here until we figure out a way to lower these stairs, and there's no whale oil in here to do that. And combined with, is there a key? No keys, just masks. Okay, so combined with that other note, we can come down here, grab one of these empty whale oil tanks, plug it in, fill it up, grab it, and then head on back up here, plug it into the emergency power receptacle, right there, and then we can probably throw this switch. There we go. That's a pretty cool little mechanic there. I like it. I like it. Okay, so before we head on up there, there's a few more things that we can grab, like some loot in there. Hopefully there'll be some, look at all those ratties. Taking care of that business. Okay, so we're going to head on to the top of this tanker there. And then head on up here. And see if we can make our way through this sunroof. Okay. We'll definitely grab that. Got some healing to do after that nice little acid bath. Okay, any more? Alright, some items over here. Okay, so we are back up to full health. So we'll just grab these coins, this oh so necessary spiritual remedy, and these medicinal herbs. Okay, so there is a Refinery manager's log. Let's check it out. Excerpt from a work log. The tankers marked Batch B coming from the Whalehouse slaughter yard need to be connected to the deeper pipe row only. These barges contain blubber from juvenile whales and have to undergo a different refinement process to ensure the same level of potency. We need to get the tankers emptied and back out to the whalehouse as fast as possible. Greaves Lighting Oil Company is on track for record profits this quarter, and I want to be the refinery that gets the credit for it, not those ass scratchers at the whalehouse. Okay, so I guess we could chat a little bit about what a refinery is real quick. So a refinery is basically a factory where some substance is purified. In the case of the Greaves refinery, they presumably purify whale oil. So basically that means they take the raw whale oil and turn it into something more concentrated, flammable substance that you see around the game. Just like at a real-world oil refinery where they take in black crude and turn it into like gasoline. Alright, I think we got everything. Let's head on back up. And I believe we can fly. No, okay. So we're going to head on up. Let's see how far we can get exactly. There we go. Okay, so we now can kind of squeeze through this little maintenance area. And I'm just going to check my heart real quick. Ah, yes, right there. Okay, so let's sneak down onto this pipe, grab the coins, and be something good. Come on. Twist of Fortune 2. Alright, I think that's mana related, so that's good. Let's check it out. There we go. Sometimes a potion gives you full mana. Okay, so I think it went from rarely to sometimes, so that's at least an improvement. We don't have to re-equip anything either. So let's head on over here. And okay, I'm gonna grab this chain, see if we can work our way up. See what we got going on over here. Little back entrance. Okay, probably not. Just some coins and stuff. All right, I think we're getting close to our gear here. So let's definitely keep rolling. Now, if I remember correctly, there are some whalers up here, so we are going to get the jump on them. Yep. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're not going to let them escape. We're going to bend time. We're going to blink. We're going to summon some rats. We're going to possess this guy way over here. And then we're going to watch the fun. And then we're going to release this guy and let him get chewed on. Look at him jump all over. That's classic. Man, they're getting some height. Excellent. And now we can eat a bunch of these white rats and get all of our mana back. That's how it's done. Any more? Got them all? Okay. Good job, little ones. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff over here. We didn't take any damage, but we can grab some of this loot for the fun of it. Got a couple of books we can check out. Okay, Harpooner Songs. We read that back at the Hound Pits pub. We haven't read that. And we haven't read that. Okay, so let's start with On Hunting Whales. Excerpt from a Forward Gaffer's Journal by Old Grum. These new ships made by that Sokolov fellow make life easier than it was in my youth, I'll tell you what. Air was is basically an old-fashioned way of saying before or previously. We were at the mercy of the winds. Nowadays, the engines get up, which is, in this context, an old-fashioned way of saying to start up. At first whale sign, and there ain't time and now to rouse the boys from their bunks afore you're on the herd. Okay, this guy's definitely an old salt. So one of these days, I'm going to try to add some accents, you know. I got to probably do a little practicing first, you know, otherwise I'll make a fool of myself. We cull out the biggest bastard we can lay eyes on, and the pilots drag us out from the circling brutes. Them things groan and bellow across the water, like they're calling to each other. Men below say you can feel it in the hull. But when the harpoons go in, the beast cannot make for deep water no more. Once it weaks from lost blood, weaks in this context is an old-fashioned way to say weaken, we launch the hook boat and put chains into the tail. Then the winches drag the bastard backward, up the chute and into the rigging overhead. Oh man, so cruel. Alright, so let's check out the Greaves Whale House. Excerpt from a book on well-established companies in Dunwall. In the early days, when the ships brought in the great dead whales, men would slaughter them and reduce their blubber to oil in massive tanks on the banks of the Wrenhaven. Small crews maintained their own vats, with workers specializing as fire tenders, slicers, gutmen, haulers, or strainers. Inevitably, once the demand went up, the businessmen moved in, wooing the best crews with promises of better pay and safer conditions. So you probably know what wooing means, but in case you don't, it means to try to win over the favor someone or persuade them to like you. The warehouses went up at the edges of the Rudshore financial district almost overnight. None was more organized, or as some say, more ruthless than the Greaves Whale House, opened by Ebenezer Greaves himself. Yeah, you probably recognize the name Ebenezer as in Ebenezer Scrooge. I'm sure that wasn't a coincidence. The Greaves Whale House grew rapidly, absorbing rivals until it dominated the trade. At its peak, the operation employed over 300 workers, not including the children who filled minor and often tragic roles. Those associated with the refinery were recognizable by their head-to-toe industrial leather uniforms and the masks they wore to protect against fumes. Thus the whalers. I'm sure those whalers adopted those uniforms because they kind of look a little bit like ninjas, you know. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about this about these children filling these minor tragic roles. So did that really happen in real life? Well, the Industrial Revolution took place approximately between the mid-1700s to the mid-1800s. It started in Great Britain and spread to Europe and then America As hard as it is to believe in today's society, children during the Industrial Revolution were not required to go to school and instead expected to work. Sometimes up to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. I mean, can you imagine? So, the industrial barons liked child labor because they could be paid less than adults and were more easily manipulated. Orphans could even be held prisoner in factories and basically treated like slaves. White, black, it didn't matter your skin color. So if you were a poor child in the late 1700s, well, it sucked to be you, basically. And when the government tried to restrict child labor, the factory moguls would always claim that they were saving children from starvation and destitution. It's just crazy to think how the rich and powerful have always found a way to exploit the poor and uneducated in some form or another. It's basically just happened throughout history. That's why it's so important to get educated, so you don't end up being one of those exploited, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so we have some more items up here. Let's just take a peek up here. Yep. Nothing really else beyond there, so let's keep making our way around. Okay, we got a little refinery foreman's note. Tell your ship captain to assign a maintenance berk for every shift. I actually don't know what a berk is, so I'm going to put a little pop-up, let you know what that's all about. The conduits keep shorting out up here. At least authorize us to put a whale oil canister in the backup receptacle next to the bridge to keep the power flow steady. We're Greaves company, for crying out loud. You'd think we'd be able to afford an extra one of our own oil tanks. Or if you need me to make it simple for you, with no power, the bridge stays up. If the bridge stays up, we can't access the refinery pit. No pit access, we don't do our jobs. Plain and simple. Okay, so he's basically telling us that we can't really get down there as much as we'd like to squeeze through there. Well, I suppose... Yeah, I suppose we could maybe jump up there, but... might as well do what it's kind of wanting us to do here, which is to head over here and down over here and grab one of these tanks, which we can do as soon as we... let's grab it actually and toss it over there. Okay, and then grab the rest of these coins, head out over here, take this empty tank, plug it in, fill it up, grab it, plug it in. Okay, we don't even have to use the switch. So we could go down the chain, or we could blink right down to there. Alright, cool. So... whale vivisection, we read that back at Pierre's workshop. Ooh, and we have some... let's see if we can peg him from right. Oh, we don't have our crossbow yet. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Whoop. Don't get up. Bad boy. Okay, I thought we could get the jump on him, but that's alright. Just can't wait to get our equipment back. Okay, as a matter of fact, I'm not going to take any chances. See all these weepers down here? They're just going to lean over and just grenade them. Yeah, I'll just ash out of there. Alright, this fluorescent glowing stuff is some pretty creepy stuff there. Whale oil processing, we read that back at the Hound Pits. Okay, so let's just take a peek and see if we got everybody. Oop, there's one more. And I think I know who that is, actually. In fact, we're gonna have a little fun and use some of that creepy fluorescent blue stuff to take this guy out. So this guy you probably recognize. Stay down. Okay, so it's hard to see him. Let's see if we can stand up. But this right here is High Overseer Campbell. In fact, I'll show you. Campbell's curse. Curse that fool Hiram Burrows, Lord Regent, my lily white bottom. We almost had it all. Now I will wear the heretic's brand for the short remainder of my days. The heretic's brand of all things. I should have banned the ritual, but in truth I plan to use it against a few undesirables should the need arise. Perhaps even Hiram. Now it is all lost. When I spy my own reflection in a puddle of filthy water, I see failure burned into my face. I am cast out. And now the plague is upon me. Already the fever grows and my thoughts are as slippery as hagfish. It won't be long before I'm drooling and moaning and bleeding from the eyes. Last week I was sipping fine Tivian wines and enjoying the comforts rightfully afforded to my position within the abbey. Today I sleep in filth, lost in this bleak and destroyed district. If my mind is going to rot away, then let these be my last words, the final coherent thoughts of Thaddeus Campbell, a great man, a voracious lover of life, and all its flavors and odors. Okay? We talked about voracious a few episodes back as well. And once High Overseer in the great capital city of Dunwall itself. From the blackness of the void, I fling curses upon the head of Corvo Atano. It is he who cost me everything I held dear. May flies nest in your eyes, Corvo, and may all your desires come to ruin as you have ruined mine. Thaddeus Campbell. Okay, that was kind of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that little flavor. Okay, so that's what happened to him. Alright, I don't think there's anything else really to grab around here, so let's do the one thing we came for, which is get our equipment. Oh, we are so on it now. Oh, there is a few things. Awesome. Well, let's just top that off. We seem to be doing really well on that, actually. Okay. Ooh, and there's another one. Ah, we don't even need that one now. Okay, so let's head out through this door. We don't have to go all the way back up to the top. And let's see if we can get all the way to there, maybe? Ah, we can. Awesome. Okay, so you can't really go through that door right there because it's locked. That's alright, because we are going to head up this way. And up here. Down to here. Yeah, might as well top it off there. Head over to here. Here. And then we can hop down. Loot these guys. He flew in the air. Whenever I see that, I imagine Corvo just like ripping that coin off the dude. It was like some real aggression. We need any of those? We don't need any of those. Oh, there's a grenade though. Wow, oh yeah, we got all our ammo back too. Awesome. Okay, so let's read this note. Overseer's warning. The assassins sprung their trap as we tried to cross the narrow bridge. At that choke point, they were able to pick us off one by one. We thought we could draw them inside where our greater numbers could make more of a difference, but it didn't matter. Now I'm the only one left, and I feel that slipping from me minute by minute. Please, if a second group attempts to come through this way, be aware of that bridge. They are listening for the sound of the door opening. Keep an eye on the rooftops. Even a small number of them is more than a match. Okay, so they're probably talking about the bridge coming up leading to Dowd's place. We'll keep that door clue in mind. Okay. So we did a good job here. Let's go ahead and head all the way up here. And instead of going through that door, actually, let's make our way up here. Whoa. See that? That was pretty trippy. Yeah, we don't want the bullets anymore, so let's re-equip the crossbow bolts. And maybe I'll have stop time in that slot. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if he kneels down here. We can pick him off. There we go. Fantastic. How about this one? Is that all of them? Okay. Ah, there's some up there. Great, we got a key. Certainly wouldn't mind topping that off. Grabbing some coins. Slave routes map. There, we can't look at it, so it's probably just a duplicate. But, ooh, there's another one. See if he kneels down. Perfect. What? Okay, I thought, didn't it look like we got him in the head? Oh well. Can't quite make it there, so let's beam over to here. Beam up to here. Okay, so that appears to be the same key to that door right there. I think we can just hop down here. Some coinage. Okay, I think we're good to... Oh, look at that. I slid into the rats and they all ran. Okay, so we're just getting a repeat key here. Let's grab this white rat right here. And then, yeah. Alright, so let's head on in here and make our way into Dowd's base. And we are actually going to do that in the next episode. So once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate when you guys hit that like button. And remember, if you see any facts that I missed during the episode, be sure to leave a comment in the comments section. That's what the After School Club is for. Alright, so we'll see you next time on the Skooled Zone.